third day. We've gone through the first 2 days of the chapter, which this is, called The Angel's Howl. I only noticed that just after the last recording that this whole bit is called Angel's Howl. But we're going to jump right back in now to just find out a little bit more about this backstory. Hooooome and welcome. My name is Yuusha Anime and welcome back to The Fruit of Grisaia. I've just realised now that this part is indeed part 40 of this series. 40 parts! That's insane! I mean, I know it's taken me forever to get through them. I know, comments, I'm sorry. But now I am keeping my promise. I'm going full swing into this series because I want to get through this. I want to get through all the spin-offs. I want to get through the Labyrinth of Grisaia. I also want to get through the Eden of Grisaia. I don't know about the restrictions on the Phantom Trigger vision novels yet, but I'll soon try to figure out something about them if it does change. But without any further ado, let me just drink my vitamin C. Nice. And now we shall begin. So guys, ikimashou. When a company focused entirely on treading water and protecting the status quo, providing good positions for intelligent and ambitious new hires can be very difficult. And if you're just going to be wasting hotshot talent on trivial chores, might as well just hire cheaper, less skilled workers to start off with. Or so the thinking goes. As for why I'm bringing this all up all of a sudden, it recently occurred to me that Kazami Kazuki's situation within our team is something like that of the elite graduate in a recession. She has exceptional, even unique skills in terms of raw ability. She's different in a league from Captain Sakashita, but since her rank is freshman, the very bottom of the totem pole, that talent puts her in an awkward position. Everyone recognizes and respects Kazuki's intelligence, but that doesn't mean they're ready to overturn our familiar system of authority, mainly because nobody knows where they'd stand in the new pecking order, so they're afraid to have their status change from what they're already familiar with, which would then confuse how they take on bits. Okay, I get it. Kazuki told me that pride isn't inherently a bad thing. The way she sees it, a moderate sense of self-respect can be a balm for the soul. But still, an overdose of medicine is just another way of poisoning yourself.
Amane? どこにいるの? Amane?
Hello, Kazuki. Hello.
いたいた。あなた、また日記をつけていたの?
Yeah.
なんていうか、癖で暇な時に思いついたことを書き殴ってるだけなんだけどね。
Yeah, kuse means habit. I actually found it in my book that I'm studying from with my self-study. Oh my, I'm nearly finished with it, so it's like the final stretch now.
いいことよ。こんな状況だからこそ、そういった日常の行動が心を安定させるし、日記をつけることで現状を深く理解して、客観的かつ冷静な判断力を得るという意味ではとても有効だと思うわ。いや、そこまで考えて書いてたわけじゃないけどね。日記ってそういうものよ。私もよく書くもの。
Oh.
カズキも？ええ。紙に書くことはしないけれど。
It's in her head.
どういうこと？
She memorizes her own
脳に
diary.
書き込んでいるのよ。それって頭の中身を頭に記してることにならない？
Yeah, that's what she's doing.
通常記憶用の脳みそと日記用の脳みそを使い分けているのよ。私、脳みそが5、6個あるってお医者様に言われたことがあるの。
What type of Frankenstein's transplants have you had, Kazuki?
本当に？もちろん冗談よ。
I was gonna say. As always, Kazuki's attempt at a joke wasn't amusing in the slightest. I don't know, that one was kind of funny. The idea of her having a half a dozen brains stashed away somewhere like some biological supercomputer felt far too plausible. I felt more like shuddering than laughing. But you thought that she was the computer from the first Fallout game. I mean, fair enough, but nah.
で、私に何か用事？そうだった。 ちょっと毒ダミの葉を摘んできてもらえないかしら。
Chameleon plant
毒ダミって臭いやつ？
そう、沢の近くにたくさん自生していたでしょ。あれを摘んできてほしいの。
Okay.
まさかあれ食べるの？
Well, it's either that or we don't eat.
食べられないわけじゃないけど、今回は薬に使うわ。
Oh.
薬？何の？
Is it for like a
かゆ
pain?
み止め。
Oh,
薬のストックが
okay.
乏しくなってきているから、代用の効くものは代用します。できれば
マンゴー
よもぎなんかもあると嬉しいけれど。
よ
Oh.
もぎって
Yomogi.
草餅に練り込むあれのこと？どんな草なの？
見たことないの？どこにでも自生しているのに。
Oh, okay.
ああ、これでも私都会っ子だし、
Yeah,
草
she's
餅
from
は作っ
Tokyo.
たことあるけど、業務用のペーストを使ってたから。
仕方がないわね。
Okay, Kazuki pursed her lips and glanced around the area. Her gaze settled on Koideritsu, who was sitting idly on top of a rock nearby, apparently not quite sure what to do with herself.
小出さん、私、彼女と草摘みに行こうと思うのだけれど、大テントで広岡さんと桜井さんに付き添っていてもらえませんか？
はい。でも
汗を拭いたり水を飲ませてあげる程度ですから、何も面倒はないと思います。お願いできますか？すぐに戻りますから。
Yeah, we're just getting some. We need some medicine.
わかったわ。
Thank you, dog. Oh wait, no, she's not the dog girl. Never mind. She's the
Sate.
medical girl.
それじゃあ行きましょうか。
I must confuse the characters then. Jesus.
いいの？
何が？
だって小出さんは。
Oh, for God's sake. At the moment, it's fine. She was Captain Sakashita's partner. If our leader were to find out Kazuki had been ordering her friend around, I had the feeling things might get ugly again. Well, would you rather leave her unattended and have no medicine? Would be my argument.
いいんじゃない？彼女、することもなくて暇そうだったし。
Yeah, she didn't seem to be doing
こんな状
anything.
況だし、することがないとサボっているようで気まずいでしょうしね。
Right.
そっか。
Our supply of food was limited and shrinking. Under the circumstances, idle hands could be seen as a drain on our resources. The sick and injured had no choice, but for those of us still healthy, there wasn't much excuse for being anything less than proactive. Koide-senpai's partner, Captain Sakashita, was currently off investigating the area with Mr. Ochi. Why hadn't they taken Koide along on their survey? Yeah, something's not right with Captain Sakashita. Why is she going off with Mr. Ochi? And the other person she trusts so much is not with them? That's really bizarre. Did they simply decide she would have slowed them down? I couldn't think of any other reason they would have just ditched me here. Ditched her here.
ねえ、和樹はどう思う？
そうね。ただ単に小出さんのことが気に入らないんじゃないかしら。
Ooh.
どうして？
Well, it's kind of obvious. She tried to force a very difficult job on her out of
ここ
nowhere.
に来た初日に怪我人の治療をするために、私は小出さんにお湯を沸かしてくださいってお願いしたでしょ。
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Did she get scolded for that? No pun
そ
intended.
れ
But
で小出さんは部長の許可をもらわずにペットボトルのミネラルウォーターを勝手に使ってしまったの。そのことで部長が怒ったら、小出さんはだって風見さんがやれって言ったからと答えちゃったのね。
つまり部長より和樹の言葉を優先したのが気に入らないと。
そういうこと。何の疑問もなく私の命令に従ってしまった小出さんは、部長の中ではもう私のシンパとして認識されているのかもしれないわね。
So it's no longer looking at a logical standpoint. Well, you're supporting her on a logical standpoint, but you're disagreeing with the captain because you knew the purpose of what it would do to help. And it was perfectly logical. So now it seems to be more personal with the captain, so now that's why she's sympathizing with us. Makes sense.
そんな、この非常時にそんなこと。
Well, yeah, she's stubborn as a brick.
言ってる場合じゃないのは部長も分かっているとは思うけれど、仕方がないわよ。女の子って そういうものでしょ。
Yeah, they don't like being told what to do by other girls. Yep. I mean, even Amane, when she first encountered Kazuki, had that same thought. She didn't like the fact that Kazuki was bossing her around and everything, but she's still working with her. She may not completely like her, and she still doesn't like her jokes, but she's still with her. Girls, on the other hand, probably... Well, I know girls hate each other more than they hate guys. That I know is true, and I've heard it from so many girls. Even my mother. My mother has said that girls are more freaking drama than guys, and that's saying something. Especially from my... If you guys have ever seen a video of me and my mum, you know what I mean. She gives no shits.
まあね。
Female friendships tend to be power-based. Specifically when girls choose their friends, they pick someone they think of as an inferior. A girl inferior in academics. A girl inferior in appearance. A girl inferior at sports. Anything will do. As long as they're a clear inferior in some respect, we can graciously and confidently allow them to become our friend. Yeah, making friends in general is weird. I still don't understand it completely. I don't know how it is for girls, but guys, I don't know either. Never really had that much, so yeah.
せっかくお友達になってあげたのに、私よりその子がいいなら、その子とお友達になればいいじゃないって、そんな感じなんじゃないかしら。
Yeah, something like that.
でもそれを言ったら他の子たちはなんだかんだ言っても結局みんな和樹の言うことを聞いてるじゃない。
Because I think she sees herself as superior to her, so she's trying to keep a power control over her, especially because of this. So that's what I think is she's more mad at the medical girl because she's known her the longest out of everyone else and has had the most control over her. Now she's losing control, which she seems to be a very reliant person on others when she wants to be. It's a recipe for disaster for her.
私の言うことを聞いているというのとは少し違うんじゃないかしら。
No, she's not. No, you're
何
hinting.
か行動を起こそうというときは言い出した人間が責任者になるわけだし、現状を維持しようという保留案を提示した私に成り行きで同意しているだけじゃない？
そうかな。やっぱりみんな和樹のこと天才だって思ってるし、従っていれば間違いないって思ってるんじゃ。
だから人に天才だって言われるのは嫌なんだってば。私を羨ましいなんて思わないことね。天才になんかなったところで得られるのは賞賛じゃなくて敵意と嫉妬だけよ。
They say the person with the most knowledge is the most terrifying. And that's also a thing related to a book called Fahrenheit 457, I think it is. I can't remember what it, but if you guys know the book I'm on about, or 451, I think it's Fahrenheit 451. The book in there mentioned having a mass book burning of a whole load of books because there was one guy who was the smartest character in the entire book, and he was talked into. Okay. I'm not going to finish that. I'm not going to finish that just in case you haven't read the book. It's a really interesting read. It is a bit more of a philosophical read. I will say that. It might be 457. It might be 457. But the book is very interesting for the fact that they burn books for the fear of knowledge so that everyone can have the same amount of intelligence. So that's what it's going at. It's people who are not very bright are more scared of people that are smarter than them. Is basically the thing about it. The more knowledge you have, the more dangerous you are.
そういうもの？
ええ、そう。私に友達がいなかった理由はそれよ。あなたが我慢強い子で助かるわ、アマね。
どういたしまして。
So,
というか、和樹本当に友達いなかったんだ。
well, she definitely didn't have the most outgoing personality. I couldn't picture her going out and trying to make a friend. I spent most of 3 days glued to her by now, but if not for that accident, it was hard to imagine we would have ever gotten to know each other. Like this, I've got hiccups now, hell no.
そのとっつきの悪さと遠慮知らない口ぶりと人を小バカにしたような態度を直せば友達できると思うよ。
それは私に別人になれと言っているようなものじゃないかしら。
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a lot of friends myself, but I do have a few that know who I am and what I'm like, and we're still friends. I don't want to change who I am just to please other people, because otherwise I'm not true friends with them.
まあ、
So yeah, I
そうなる
understand
か
this.
な。
I completely
今更私
agree
の
with
性
this.
格が変わったら、むしろみんな気持ち悪いって言うんじゃないかしら。
寂しくないの？
今はあなたがいるし、それに弟がいるから、それほど寂しいとは思わないわね。
So she's my older sister.
和樹、弟なんているの？
ええ、いるわよ。
やっぱりあれ、和樹に似てるの？
似ているかと聞かれれば、あまり似ていないわね。あの子は私と違って母親にだから。そうね。優しいだけが取り柄みたいなところがあって、可愛らしい子よ。
He seems way more robust than that. But
へ
okay.
え、やっぱりその子も頭いいの？
どうかしら。バカではないとは思うけれど、変に生真面目で不器用だし、私の弟って時点でどうしても比較されてしまうし、ちょっと頑張った程度じゃ誰も認めてはくれないのよね。そのことでは随分と悩んでいるみたい。
Yeah, that one's hitting home a little bit. Yeah, I'm not going to comment too much on that one myself, because
そっ
personal.
か。
Ooh. Not surprisingly, I guess, Kazuki would be one incredibly hard act to follow. Everyone would naturally be expecting great things of her brother. Held up against the standard of his elder sister, the best achievements of a normal person would seem commonplace. At most, you could hope for a tepid, just what I'd expect from Kazuki's brother. Yeah, that's very undermining. I hate when people do that. It's nice to have an expectation, but when you say outright like that, that makes you a dick. That makes you a dick. But any minor mistake would get you a disappointed look that might as well be saying, are you really related to that genius? Yeah. I couldn't help but feel a twinge of sympathy. Yeah.
なんかちょっとかわいそうかも。
同情はやめてあげて。あの子がますます惨めな思いをするから。
Yeah. If someone else feels pity for them because you're thinking that they're inferior, that's even worse.
ごめん。
確かにあの子に失望する声も多いし、それは両親ですら例外じゃない。
So we're actually learning more about Yuji right now, which is actually awesome. We hardly know a lot. Come on.
私はあの子がとても大事だし、あの子をとても愛しているわ。それでいいのよ。たとえ世界中があの子を嫌っても、私が誰よりもあの子を愛している事実は変わらないのだから。
偏ってるな。相手は弟なんでしょ？
そうかしら。まあ確かに変質している自覚はあるけれど、弟に甘い姉というのも別に珍しくはないでしょ。
Oh yeah, just if you're wondering a little bit of that, with the kanji that was used, aishiteiru, that kanji is only really used for an extreme form of love. So that is a very, very strong emotion. So that's why she's saying that's going a little bit overboard. So yeah, they actually kept that well translated. I'm happy about that. I'm happy with that.
和樹が甘い？
I'd always use Kazuki as something like a walking beaker of acid in a school uniform. Sweet struck me as the single least appropriate adjective you could possibly apply to her.
そんなに驚くようなこと？弟なんだから可愛がるのは当たり前でしょ。これでも一応優しいお姉ちゃんのつもりなのだけれど。
Yeah, you'd always look out for your sibling.
似合わない。全然似合わない。びっくりするぐらい似合わない。
Kazuki? The girl who would probably take one look at the classic abandoned puppy in a cardboard box on a rainy day, tell it fate is cruel, I suggest you curse the heavens and walk right off without batting an eyelid. Kazuki of all people, a doting big sister. Oh, come on! What's wrong with that? I impulsively pulled my cell phone out of my pocket and checked the date.
あれ？今日は4月1日じゃないよね。
It's not April Fools.
あなた、失礼にも程があるわよ。私だって人間だもの。弟を可愛がりもするし、弟が落ち込んでいれば不器用ながらも慰めようと試みることぐらいはするわ。
Yeah, that's a given.
へえ。
Kazuki was such a dry-eyed, tough-minded person that I guess I figured she was above any form of deep emotional attachment. When you gain more intelligence, you do become less sympathetic because you become more aware of feelings. So I can see what you mean, but come on, when it comes to family, it's not. Of course you can. Never mind. I'm speaking too much. To be honest, I could easily imagine her looking down on her newborn brother in a hospital incubator, muttering something like, "What do you think you're doing? I don't recall giving you permission to be born. You've thrown off my plans, whelp." No, of course you wouldn't think
あ
that.
なた今とんでもなく失礼なことを考えていない？
Ooh. Whoops. When Kazuki fixed those inky blank eyes on me, it felt as though she was glaring right through my skull and into my thoughts. Flustered, I shook my head in denial.
ねえ、弟さんってそんなに可愛いの？
Uh-oh.
そうね。思わずキスしたくなるぐらい可愛いわ。
Oh.
へえ。
Hearing all this was getting me a little interested in seeing him for myself.
実際何度かキスをしたけれど、何度しても飽きないわね。
Hold on. Is she a brocon? Giving in to temptation? Kissing her brother? On a cheek or something, right? I didn't have any brothers, so I didn't quite get it, but maybe that wasn't too out of the ordinary for a close parasite. Oh, she's a brocon. Oh.
本当に可愛いわ。
Oh. Uh-oh. Somehow, the smile on Kazuki's face didn't seem particularly innocent. Oh. Even for a close pair of siblings. No, especially for a close pair of siblings. Wasn't that a little normal? Just what was this girl doing to... Oh, no. Yes, I'm just gonna continue on.
どうかした？あなた顔が赤いわよ。
あのさ、今ここで私が道徳を解き始めたらあなた笑う？
内容によるわね。
Kazuki's way of showing her affection for a sibling was clearly wrong. I never expected to be planning a fundamental mistake like this to her, of all people. Everyone's got a skeleton in their closet. When I gently prodded her for more information, I soon discovered she was still taking parts for... Okay, red flags are going up now. Well, Kazuki's body wasn't exactly well developed. She did have curves in the right places. But even with your brother at that age is more than a little dicey, right? Even at the best of times, the love between the brother and sister is built on a fairly precarious balance, and Little Miss Genius here had definitely taken things well beyond the tipping point. Skirting around the larger issue, I gingerly pushed the conversation along by hinting that the boss really needed to stop, prompting her to inquire, is sleeping together at night also off limits, in a slightly dejected tone of voice. And when I went soft, mumbling something about maybe every once in a while, she fired off a cheerful and it's okay to give him specific lessons on the person. Yeah, hold on, I need a drink. I should have saved some of my whiskey that I had yesterday, but okay, I didn't. I drank the rest of it. I'm an idiot. Kazuki, what the hell did you do to Yuji? What the hell did you do? Oh mate, mind if I ask you something? To be honest, I feel a little silly asking a question like this to the infamous prodigy Kazuki. But I just can't help myself. I'm burning with curiosity. Here goes. Hey, might you be completely out of your mind? Okay, look, this is the only way of life I know. Really isn't helping me deal with this. You know, can you cut a girl a break here? Ah.
というか、今まで誰も注意しなかったの？例えばほら、母親とかさ。
I know originally this game is literally an 18 plus, but that's making me... I'm just gonna stay quiet. I'm gonna stay quiet on that one. But...
そういえば子供の頃にお外ではしないようにねってそう言われたような気がするわ。
The parents!
家の中でなら OK なのかよ。
Sounds like their mother made some mistakes here as well. Some pretty fundamental ones actually. It wasn't hard to imagine Kazuki's home must have been an unusual place, since it was the environment that produced a super genius, but this freakish lack of common sense was well beyond my expectations. Maybe it's because it came... Maybe this whole situation came birth from the lack of interaction with others, and because she only had her brother, she then mixed her feelings of loving her brother as a family to then loving him as a man. Ah, that's twisted. Ah, the morals.
とにかく間違ってるから、このままじゃ和樹の弟絶対にろくな大人にならないよ。
そう？これでも結構真面目に育てているつもりなのだけれど。
どの辺が？
Yeah, that's a good question.
ありがとうって上手に言える子に育てているの。
どういう意味？
言葉の
That's
通
a
り
good
よ。
question.
素直に人に感謝することができるって素晴らしいと思わない？
Yeah, sure, but
そりゃまあ。
I'm guessing the parents really neglected him badly.
そう。例えばあなたの口癖のごめんなさいだけど、人に迷惑をかけたとき素直に謝罪できるのって素晴らしいことよ。
そうかな。
I wasn't trying to make it my catchphrase, but it was taught from a young age that if you think you did something bad, apologize first and make excuses later. And it was a major pillar of the vinegary education in manners I received from my mum.
それと同じことよ。人に感謝することができる人間はできない人間よりも幸せな人生を歩めると思わない？
確かに。
It may be a subtle difference as often as not, but if you can remember to show your gratitude in small ways, never taking the goodwill of others for granted, your life will probably end up ever so slightly the richer for it.
あれ、和樹あんた、今ちょっといいこと言った？
What's wrong with that?
あなた本当に失礼ね。私はいつだっていいことしか言わないでしょ。それこそ私の言葉をまとめれば風見和樹名言集として税込み1890円で売れるぐらいよ。
Just so you know, in case you don't know, the tax in Japan is around 8 to 10%. So I'd say in this one it would be the 10%. So that would be just about 2,070 yen. 2,079 yen. About that. So it's about 15 quid.
何その微妙にリアルな値段設定。
What publisher would make a hardcover edition of that anyway? I could just picture it. Chapter 1. Taking a bath with your little brother and start crying. Oh dear. Maybe the better question is, what's the target audience for a book written by a woman who sexually harasses her own little brother?
お風呂か。
Hey.
そういえば。
Huh? It had already been 3 days since the last time I washed myself. 3 days I spent in a humid ravine wearing the same unwashed school uniform. I pinched my clothes and brought my finger to my nose, then quickly jerked my head back at the raw, sharp body odor they carried.
くさ。ねえ、和樹、私匂わない？
I think Kazuki would stink more because she fell into a swamp.
人は生きていれば代謝を続けるものだし、それに今は臭い切れというか毒ダミの苦い匂いしかしないけど。
やだな。お風呂に入りたい。
沢が見つかって水は潤沢なのだし、水浴びをしたら？佐久間さんなんか沢が見つかってすぐに私のところへ水浴びの可否を聞きに来たわよ。
But here's the thing, if we use up all the water from it, well, it might not be great to use up all the water.
いいの？
むしろ衛生面に気を配らないと皮膚病になる可能性もあるし。
That's true. Oh,
そ
she's
の
gonna
辺
go
の事
now,
情を
isn't
含
she?
めて部長にはすでに許可を取り付けてあるから何も問題はないわ。私も何度か水浴びしてみたけれど気持ちいいわよ。
And she never told
言って
us.
よ。つか誘いなさいよ。私たちペアでしょ？
だ
Aww.
って私あなたの隣で裸になるの嫌だわ。高級スポーツカーの隣に駐車された軽自動車の惨めをあなたは想像できる？
The bus sizes.
なんで車で例える？
She's going on the line of size and quality, like a luxury sports sedan versus a mini car.
その方があなたには分かりやすいかと思って。
Well, yeah, because it's cars. I mean, what's the problem with mini cars? I love them for your information. They're cheap and easy to maintain for one thing, but more importantly, they're incredibly light. And a wise man once said, when it comes to turning, nothing beats a low-weight car, you know?
和樹って時々姿が見えなくなると思っていたけど、私に隠れて水浴びなんかしてたのね。
Maybe.
別に隠れていたわけではないけれど、まあいいわ。薬草を積み終わったらあなたも水浴びに行ってきたら。
そうさせてもらう。
She's mad. A bath sounded fantastic, but we had other priorities. While picking the mugwort and comedian plants we planned to use for medical purposes, Kazuki and I took the opportunity to search for vegetation that looked edible. It was the third day of our imprisonment in this ravine. Perhaps in the very beginning we assumed the vibrant mass of the nature that trapped us here would also provide us with a steady supply of wild vegetables. But that optimism evaporated the moment we actually began to explore the jungle. True, carefully surveying the woods turned up something in the way of edible-looking vegetation, but with the vast majority were fern sprouts, honeywort, chrysanthemum greens, and other leafy plants. There we go, I finally said it. Or maybe it's chrysanthemum greens and some leafy plants. More garnished the main course. None of them could fill the bellies of a group growing teenagers. As an added bonus, pretty much all of these wild grasses and flowers proved strongly unpalatable. Eaten raw, they are unbelievably bitter, and most give off a sharp, nasty scent. Even when boiled, the harsh, caustic taste of lye usually remained. Seasoning to disguise the flavour was an absolute necessity. The first of our supplies to vanish was the curry powder. Well, of course, thanks to its strong smell and powerful taste, it violently drowned out the taste of any individual ingredient. It was our magic pixie dust, transforming anything into a tolerable meal. On the day of the fall, we'd each been distributed 2 tiny single-serving packets of curry powder to last us 3 days. Even combining my share of Kazuki's, our 4 packets didn't amount to much at all. Although Kazuki had entrusted me with all of our precious supply of food, she got downright angry when I tried to make curry croquettes using the powder and some potatoes. Well, yeah, you gotta make it last. She was always strictly lecturing me about keeping our portions as small as possible, but any ingredient containing anything in the way of salt was a particular obsession. Well, yeah, it makes sense why. Her argument, sodium can't be produced inside the human body, therefore ingesting it from the outside is absolutely necessary. Oh. Okay.
確か植物からミネラルを取り出して塩を作る実験をしている中国の大学教授がいたわよね。
何急に
That's a very
そんない
sudden
きな
topic.
りいたわよねとか同意を求められても知らんがな。
児童向けの科学雑誌にそんな記事が出ていたのを今ふと思い出したのだけれど、残念なことに大量の素材とそれなりの規模の装置が必要なのよね。
Yeah, you would need an elaborate way to like distill and separate all of those elements.
塩がそんなに大切なの？
今はまだ体内での調整でごまかしが効いているけど、このまま数日経って飢餓が極まった時、最後に必要になるのは塩だと思うのよ。だから今のうちにできるだけ確保しておきたいの。
Right. Okay, that's smart. That's smart.
一応言われた通りに塩は節約してるし、半分は使わないようにして隠してあるけど。
それは最後まで隠しておいて。それと塩を隠し持っていることも誰にも言わないで。
No, don't.
分かった。そうするけど。
What's the point of having salt if there's no food to put it on? If anything, it seemed like we should be stockpiling stuff that could fill our stomachs. Not a condiment. Very, very interesting. Since the fall, we'd been getting by on potatoes, carrots, and the weedy vegetation we picked from the forest. Without any meat or rice in our diet, we were starved for protein and carbohydrates alike. If we had to make a meal out of these scraggly bitter plants, I'd at least have liked to stir-fry them with a little crumbled bacon. Flavoured with a generous helping of butter and soy sauce, and steaming white rice on the side. That's right, rice. Gourmet. I made the mistake years ago of saying gohan was actually rice, when literally gohan just means food. So I was an idiot. It's actually gourmet, which is rice, and it's quite a simple kanji actually. On the second day of our training camp, heavy rain had cancelled our plans to cook a big curry dinner outdoors. We've been eating many of the ingredients from that meal, but not the rice it would have been served on. In other words, we had a 5-kilogram sack of perfectly good rice sitting in a tent somewhere. Just when were they planning to distribute that? There was no point in whining about bacon when we didn't have any, but I wanted some rice pretty badly. A nice fluffy bowl on the side would make a main dish of fried weed seem a lot more tolerable. If we had some shimeji mushrooms to throw in, it'd be...
あ、キノコ。
はい。
Ah, you gotta be careful now because some of them could be poisonous.
ねえ、カズキ、キノコは？キノコなら山の中でも生えてるんじゃない？キノコを探そうよ。
やめておいた方がいいわ。キノコは危険よ。
どうして？カズキなら毒キノコと食べられるキノコ見分けがつくんじゃない？
She probably can't.
一応知識はあるけれど、キノコは地域によって差もあるし、それに私の知識は本で得たものばかりで経験が伴わない。本で得た知識だけでキノコを食べて食中毒になるケースは今の時代になっても後を絶たないわ。キノコはダメ。
Right.
私、軸がきれいに縦に裂けるキノコは食べても平気って聞いたことあるよ。
それは俗説よ。
Oh.
軸が縦に裂けるキノコでも致命的な毒を持つ種類はたくさんあるわ。悪いことは言わないからキノコは諦めなさい。
She wants to eat more.
いいアイデアだと思ったんだけどな。
It was. It's just the region is too dangerous to base it off of. And Kazuki doesn't have any knowledge of this region's mushrooms.
誰か嫌な子に食べさせて 2,3 日様子を見てからみんなで食べるという手もあるけれど。
I mean...
さすがにその冗談は笑えないよ。
冗談を言った覚えはないわよ。
Ooh. Although she smiled lightly, Kazuki's voice wasn't amused in the slightest. She was quite seriously and neutrally informing me of a potential exchange. If we wanted edible mushrooms, we would have to sacrifice someone first. At the moment, we had edible plants, unappetizing as they might be. There was no need to risk death for the sake of a few mushrooms. There's another way to have food. And it's going to be twisted me saying this, but it's not wrong. Cannibalism. They've got 2 dead bodies. If they cook the meat from those bodies, they would be able to eat more. And somebody is going to have that thought, I think, in this. I can't say for sure, but just call it a hunch. I have a feeling that somebody is going to be a cannibal out of the group. But if we were to eat up all the shoots and flowers and herbs, where was our next meal going to come from? If we're forced to eat mushrooms, who takes the first bite? A road to survival we couldn't follow yet. A road not all of us could travel. Was Kazuki thinking of something like this when she spoke those words? Most likely. Yesterday morning, had she already predicted that I would suggest gathering mushrooms? All of a sudden, her steady voice seemed strangely cold. I suppressed the urge to shiver.
誰だって死にたくはないでしょ。ほら、さっさと積んで戻りましょうよ。
With those words, Kazuki bent down and began to put away the plants we had gathered in the mess kit rice cooker we were using as a makeshift bucket. I'll be back in a second. I just need to go to the loo. Back you. Sorry about that. I feel much better now. I'm no longer wiggling in my chair. I'm ready to continue. None of us want to die. Those brief, perfectly obvious words sent a cold shock through my body. None of us were hiding our grief or anxiety particularly well anymore. Everyone was nervous. Everyone was scared. But I realised something from the spasm of terror I felt in that moment. Somewhere deep inside, we were probably still in denial. We were still optimistically averting our eyes from the cruel reality. Oh, okay, we're further on in the... Is this the next day? Yeah, it's the 4th day. Oh, damn. Okay, that was actually much sooner than I was expecting to end up on this day. I'll keep going a little bit more. Fourth day in the valley. As expected, another hot one as early as mid-morning. It felt about 90 degrees out, if not worse. Excuse me. Excuse me. These vitamins be doing something to my body. Spending time in the lush, humid jungle under such conditions would drain our energy surprisingly quickly. So we were told to limit our investigation of the area to the early hours of the day before the temperature reached its peak. Investigating the area might sound nice, but to be perfectly honest, we were just foraging for food. Everyone had long since burned through the 3 days worth of food distributed to us on the first night. From today on, the system was changing. We'd be getting our daily rations from the captain every morning. Oh no. Oh, yep. Okay, so it's now become a dictatorship. And that morning, she handed me a handful of rice, less than a cup's worth, and maybe a quarter of an onion. This was to make do for me and Kazuki both. When I tentatively asked if this was supposed to be for one meal, she firmly repeated this is for the day. It wouldn't have been enough for anyone, let alone young girls with growing bodies. We were expecting to make up the shortfall by heading into the forest and procuring our own. As a result, most of us were forced to devote the majority of our active time to searching the woods for food. Fortunately, my partner, Kazuki, had as small an appetite as her diminutive frame would suggest, and even when all I could offer was a thin gruel of rice and mountain weeds, she ate steadily away without a single complaint. If anything, the problem lay in my direction.
ダメだ。全然食べ足りないよ。
アマネは体が大きいから、基礎代謝が高い分、動かなくてもエネルギーを消費するものね。
Yeah. Kazuki glanced over as I sucked regretfully on my gruel-soaked chopsticks, gave a little laugh, and helpfully compared me to an American gas guzzler in human form.
私の食べ残しで悪いけど、食べる？
Aww.
それはカズキの分だよ。
I was honestly all too eager to gobble down any morsel offered to me, leftovers or not. Even so, it would have been a dire mistake to accept Kazuki's kindness. If our pair was a body, I was the hands and feet, while Kazuki was the head. No matter how healthy the limbs may be, they can't move unless the brain's functioning.
いいよ。あとはお茶でも飲んで我慢する。
Of course, our tea was nothing more than hot water flavoured with onion skins. Ugh. 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 Oh, that sounds awful. It wouldn't fill my stomach to be sure, but from what Kazuki had told me, the skins were rich in antioxidants. Oh, that would reduce the stress on my body, providing something of a detox effect. So, okay, that's smart. As I slowly sipped away at the reddish-brown tinted water, I looked around the campsite. Unsurprisingly, many of the others were sitting listlessly on their silver sleeping mats, their arms wrapped around growling stomachs.
ねえ、あれ放っておいていいの？ん？
Clearly, I wasn't the only one longing for something to supplement our inadequate meals. A group of 3 girls had sat themselves down in a tight circle with Sakuma-senpai at the centre. They were playing cards with a deck somebody must have brought along, gambling for small snacks and pieces of candy they had been secretly hoarding. It was a common sight lately. That will start fights. That will start fights. Oh no.
まあいいんじゃない？みんな楽しそうだし。あなたも混ぜてもらったら？
Kazuki put a hand in her skirt pocket and pulled out a single chocolate bar. Wait, what?
軍資金は私が提供するから。勝ったら分け前は私とあなたで半分ずつ。いい？
Oh.
でも
負けた時はそうね。おやつ抜きってのはどう？
もともとおやつとかねえよ。っていうかどうしてカズキがやらないの？
Because it'll probably bring more animosity and probably lead to her being kicked out or possibly beaten.
私が勝つと面白くないでしょ？
Yeah.
それに私は怪我人の世話があるし。今は小出さんが一人で見ているけど、私がいないと不安らしいから。
Oh, okay, so she's really
こん
trusting.
な時に遊んでていいのかな？
こんな状況だからこそ 退屈すると悪い方へ考えが進みやすいし、ガス抜きは必要なのよ。無駄に動いてもお腹が空くだけだしね。それにたかが遊びだなんて思っていてはダメね。私のペアである以上はあなたには敗北は許されないわ。たとえトランプ遊びといえど不退転の心意気を胸に他人を蹴落としてでも利益を得る覚悟で挑んでちょうだい。
不退転。
踏み出したら振り返らない。それがルールよ。
よくわかんないけど頑張ってみるよ。
確実な勝利を期待しているわ。
We shall obliterate the opposition. Having said her piece, Kazuki turned on her dainty heel and walked off confidently.
確実な勝利ね。
Setting the bar a little high, aren't we? Well, I guess if you had talent like Kazuki, it might well turn out that way. But it seemed like a downright unreasonable expectation to place on an ordinary person like myself. Of course, if I had said as much to Kazuki, I'm sure she would have given me another talking to. Victory is secured only through the steady accumulation of effort and unflagging attention to minor precautions, or whatever. Probably something along that line. I was pretty sure she had already told me something very similar, in fact. I'd actually been making something of a habit of jotting down Kazuki's words of advice over the days we'd spent together. Do your utmost to avoid placing yourself in a position where you'll be forced to rely on chance. When the time comes to use a card, play it without hesitation. Betray before you're betrayed. Once someone has betrayed you, never trust them again. Don't let anyone realise you don't trust them. Remember to chew your milk before you swallow. Wait, what? Chew your... Oh, okay. That confused me for a second, but I got it. Not that I really understood most of them, especially the last one there. Chew your milk? Some kind of a metaphor, maybe? Well, I think chewing your milk is like, even if it's a liquid, double check. It's just saying if something appears as something, make sure. It's I guess it's like if it's off, then it'll have lumps. That's what I'm guessing.
私も混ぜてもらっていいですか？
それは構わないけど、何かかけるものを持ってる？
チョコレートがありますけど。へ
え。君、まだそんなものを隠し持ってたのか？
いえ、別に隠していたわけじゃ。それにこれは和樹が持っていたものです。
風見が？あいつ甘いものなんて興味なさそうな顔してるけど。
Now I think about it.
こんなものを持っていたのは意外だね。
Now I think about it, it is weird that she even had chocolate on her at all. I couldn't deny it seemed a little out of character for Kazuki to be carrying chocolate around. That said, at this point, I wouldn't really have been surprised if she pulled a pigeon out of a hat. She was clearly capable of anything. No, she wasn't.
何にせよ、チョコレートは大歓迎だ。座りなよ。
はい。
What should we do next? What's going to become of us? How long before we can go home? Immediately after the fall, every word coming out of our mouths boiled down to a variation on one of those three sentences. But as of that morning, the litany of unanswerable questions had finally trickled to a halt. By our fourth day in the valley, we started to adapt psychologically. Harsh as our environment was, we had our tents to shield us from the elements and our sleeping bags to keep us warm at night. As we began to find comfort in such things, we were gradually growing calmer. With the provisions distributed in the first day gone, and our daily rations reduced to a bird's helping of rice, it was only natural that the topic of our conversation shifted from such vague anxieties to the concrete topic of food. Cheese. Come on, Wallace, where are you? While studying the cards she had been dealt, Canada Senpai muttered these words to no one in particular, like some kind of prayer. Her love for dairy was well known to the team. When the practice ended and a freshman took orders for their obligatory snack run to the nearby convenience store, she'd always request something cheesy.
ないものは仕方がないだろ。
She is the female version of Wallace. Literally always cheese.
分かっちゃいますけど、先輩だって甘いものが食べたいって言ってたじゃないですか。
甘いものは実際にあるじゃないか。キャンディーにガムにプレッツェル。それに見なよ。アマネがチョコレートを持っている。
I'm not a big
まさ
fan.
にカモネギじゃないか。
I thought it was finished, sorry. I'm not a big fan of pretzels.
確かにチョコは魅力的ですよね。一番甘いですし。
Girls love sweet things usually as well. 3 sets of eyes focused intensely on my bar of chocolate. It felt almost like they weren't seeing anything else. For a moment, I physically cringed. If all 3 of them were to pounce at once, I would have been completely unable to defend myself. Yes. As I bit my lower lip and swallowed nervously, Sakuma glanced up and abruptly burst into laughter.
心配ないさ、大丈夫だよ。確かにここ最近苦くて渋い草ばっかり食べてるせいで甘いものに飢えているのは間違いないけど、たかがチョコレートで喧嘩を始めるほど私たちも子供ではないからね。
We'll see about that.
ですよね。
もしこの場に小沢先輩がいたら、それも保証の限りではないですけどね。
Ozawa? As she spoke, Ibuki discarded a pair of cards from her hand. True enough, Ozawa wouldn't have handled this situation well. Her juniors hadn't called her the Devourer Demon behind her back for nothing. Insensitive as it seemed, I couldn't help but think of her instant death in the... Oh, yeah, the big girl! Ugh. Oh, wow. And the bus crash had at least spared her from otherwise inevitable agony. Perhaps she'd been lucky in a way.
そういえばさ、小沢ちんのバッグどうなったの？
Oh.
バッグ？
ほらあの子、いっつもバッグの中にぎっしりとお菓子を隠してたでしょ。あのバッグがあれば私たちしばらく甘いものに困らないんじゃない？
Oh.
先輩たちの私物はバスから回収した後、全部先生に預けましたけど。
And Sensei is with the student... is with the president. Oh no, they're hiding shit. They are having luxury behind everyone's back, aren't they?
ということは、やっぱり部長が管理してるってことか。
Or she's keeping it to herself and eating it. As well as the teacher, Miss Dolce. Just then, I glanced absent-mindedly at the chocolate bar in my hand and did a bit of a double take. Come to think of it, Kazuki was the one who retired Ozawa-senpai's belongings from the bus. Could this possibly... something Kazuki secretly swiped from her bag? Oh... That could be possible.
どうしたマネ？君の番だよ。
はい、ごめんなさい。
Instinctively apologizing for no particular reason, I pulled the furthest card on the right from Sakuma's hand. She chuckled softly. I'd taken the worst possible card off her hands. The Joker. God damn it! If it's with you at the very end, you've lost the game. Yeah, it's old maid. For a moment, the smirking clown staring back at me from the cheap, laminated playing card seemed to be wearing Kazuki's face.
結局のところさ、食料を全部管理しているのは部長と小出のペアでしょ。彼女ら自分たちだけお腹いっぱい食べてるなんてことはないよね。
That was what I was just thinking. From the cards I offered her, Canada pulled out the 8 of spades. Because, now I think about it, we've never even seen them eat with everyone else. They've only been given out reserves. So, how much are they actually eating? Are they actually rationing it out, or are they pigging out behind our backs?
それはないと信じたいね。坂下はああ見えて責任感は人一倍強いし、自分だけ楽をしようとは思わないタイプだよ。
She's a heavily reliant type.
そうでしょうか。
Ibuki pulled a card from Canada's hand and discarded a newly formed pair onto the central pile. By this point, she had only 4 cards remaining.
坂下部長は責任感が強いというか、自分以外の場所に責任を転嫁するのが上手なだけですよ。私、あの部長苦手です。
Yep.
出たよ。またブッキーの苦手ですだ。君はそうやって何でも嫌ってみるんだね。
I think she's right on something though. As Sakuma Senpai leaned over toward her, Ibuki's cheeks flushed slightly red. She thrust out her remaining 4 cards in front of her roommate's face, as if trying to keep her at bay.
そうやって簡単に信じてしまう方が善人なんですか？私は善人なんて嫌です。騙されて利用されて、それでもよかった、病気の子供はいなかったんだなんて言えるほど。 私は成人じゃありません。
Usually the best way to know is to check things for yourself.
そういうとこかわいいな、ブッキーは。そろそろ髪切った方がいいね。前髪を切ればもっと可愛くなる。
Oh.
余計なお世話です。私は好きでこの髪型にして、もう触らないで。
イチャつくのは二人きりの時にしてもらっていいですか？
Wrinkling her brows as if trying to hold back an imminent sneeze. Canada flapped her hand in the air in a signal to get on with the game already.
うちのペアは小森が飼ってる犬がいるから余計な食い口が増える分食料の減りが早いんだよね。あの犬っころ生意気に雑草なんか嫌だって全然食べないし。
そういえば犬って肉食なんじゃないんですか？
There's normally supposed to be.
雑食なんじゃないかな。うちの近所の犬なんか散歩の途中で道端に生えてる雑草とかむしゃむしゃ食べてるの見るよ。
I think that's more to do with marking sense.
あ、それなんだっけ？肉ばっかり食べていると胸焼けするから食べるんじゃなかったっけ？
They usually are given a mixture of both, though. Yeah.
でも今朝だって配給の玉ねぎ食べさせようとしたけど完全にそっぽ向いて見向きもしなかったよ。
The dog senses are really strong, so I can believe that.
犬に玉ねぎ食べさせちゃダメですよ。犬に玉ねぎを食べさせると貧血を起こすって言うじゃないですか。
Oh no, I think of that. I think there was a Japanese tongue twister which is namanegi namatama namatamago. I think. I might have it wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's namanegi namatama namado. Namanegi namatama namatamago. And nama means raw. So, yeah, I just remember that tongue twister now.
そうなの？
チョコレートもダメだって言うよね。
Oh yeah, it's absolutely out of the question for dogs.
それこそ犬に食べさせるぐらいなら自分で食べますよ。
True. If it'll hurt them as well.
まあね。私も小森に同じようなこと言ったらさ、なんか責任感じたみたいで。犬が食べられそうなもの探すって。今日も朝からずっと山の中を歩き回ってるよ。
She's not careful, she could end up killing her dog.
へえ、トリュフでも見つけてくるんですかね。
Truffles? No, that's pigs.
あれ？トリュフは豚が探すんじゃなかった？
Yeah, you need buta.
何にせよ犬だけじゃなくて私たちの食べるものが問題ですよね。このまま雑草ばっかり食べててもそう長くは持ちませんよ。
We'd stay here for another week, sipping on weed soup. If our rescuers hadn't arrived by then, we'd have no choice but to go get help ourselves. Most likely, the captain was preserving a stock of food for that purpose. But when I said as much, Canada scowled dubiously.
でもさ、救助を呼びに行くってどうやって？
As she spoke, Canada scratched irritably at the bandage wrapped around her forehead. No, don't scratch it! The wound underneath must have been growing itchy in the humidity.
誰か一人代表者を決めてその人に水と食料を託して山を降りてもらうんです。
降りられるならとっくにそうしてるでしょうが。こんな道もないような山どうやって降りるのよ。どっちに進めばいいのかすらわからないのに。
だから部長と先生はそれを調べるために今も山に入っているんじゃないですか。
責任者の自主的な行動って言えば聞こえはいいけどさ、それって無駄に食料を減らしてるだけじゃん。いっそのこと全員で別々の方向に山を降りればいいんだよ。
Interesting.
だからそれは
We didn't have nearly enough provisions for a gamble like that, and we couldn't just abandon the wounded. There was only one practical plan: endure as long as we could on these meager rations, claw open a path through the wilderness that trapped us here, hope all the while for the arrival of our rescuers, and then once our investigation yielded something in the way of landmarks, send off a representative with 3 days worth of food. With another 3 days passed, we could send off a second representative. By following the signs the first had left to mark the surest trail, they should make it further down the mountain. Lashing one short stick to the next slowly but surely would draw closer to our objective. This was an idea that had grown out of Kazuki's theoretical digital communication plan. If we could repeat this often enough, in theory we could eventually be able to escape, but there were no guarantees, and I found myself hesitant to explain.
喧嘩はやめましょうよ。それこそ無駄にお腹が減るだけじゃないですか。
Thank you, Ibuki.
喧嘩なんてしてないじゃん。話し合ってるだけだよ。
Hold on,
だった
Canada.
らその無駄にイライラした口調やめてもらっていいですか？あまねに八つ当たりし
私がいつ八つ当たりしたってのよ。
Oh, you're getting antsy.
金田、それに息吹もその辺にしときなよ。
I've often heard that a calcium deficiency makes you prone to fits of irritability, but at that moment, although all of our diets were badly unbalanced, the main cause of our crankiness was clearly the constant gnawing hunger we all shared. It's easy to be polite on a full stomach, as they say. Oh yeah, if you're hungry, you can be quite grouchy. I know, because I have hunger and anger at the same time, which is called hangry. The hangry times. In the end, we kept at our game of cards until Captain Sakushita and Mr. Ortiz returned from their expedition. I finished with a so-so record of 3 defeats and 4 victories. In exchange for 3 of the 12 blocks of chocolate from my bar, I obtained 4 pieces of soft candy wrapped in aluminium foil. Against the contrast of my slightly dirty palm and muddy fingernails, those spoils of war looked irresistibly beautiful. I brought one to my nose and inhaled deeply. Inhale. At the bittersweet scent of strawberry wafting through the wrapper, my mouth was instantly overflowed, which that's making me hungry now because I like strawberry sweets. There were 4 candies in my palm. If I popped one into my mouth right now, nobody would ever know. It would even be a net loss to my group. I would have lost 3 small pieces of chocolate and brought back 3 comparable chunks of sugar. Nah, but Kazuki would know if you're lying. As my thoughts raced unbidden through these calculations, I swallowed the spit in my mouth, but as it slid lukewarm down my throat, I came to my senses with a guilty jolt. It would be dishonest, unfair, cowardly to eat one now. Nothing less than the betrayal of Kazuki. And once I betrayed her, I would probably continue to do so, because she said herself, the moment you betray someone, don't trust them again. That was the line I couldn't cross. Nice. Well done, Amane. You're not
何か
done.
悩み事？あまね。
Hey. Oh, hello.
どうかした？
ツッキあなた分かってて私をいじめているの？
何のこと？全然わからないわ。
It really seems like a deliberately timed appearance on her part. But even if it was a coincidence, Kazuki's luck to appear at that exact moment would have been frightening in its own right. After one long deep breath, I jerked my head down in a bow of apology.
ごめんカズキ。私今カズキに内緒でつまみ食いしようか悩んでた。
You told the truth, though.
あら正直。そんなの黙っていればわからないのに。
わからないからこそ汚い行為なんだよ。
I held out the soft candies I'd won in the game and the remains of the chocolate bar to Kazuki. Carving a hand gently over mine to receive them, Kazuki flashed me a satisfied smile.
大丈夫よ。それができないあなただから、私はあなたに全てを任せたのだから。はい。あーんしなさい。あーん。
Kazuki deftly unwrapped one of the candies she had received from me, then plopped a small white pillow into my half-open mouth.
おいしい？
The candy was unbelievably sweet to my tongue. My entire mouth was instantly flooded with a taste of sugar, and in the next moment it felt as though that vibrant sweetness was seeping into my veins and spreading through my body. That single piece of candy was so delicious I was actually trembling. Kazuki watched affectionately as I rolled my eyes up in bliss and swirled the candy clumsily around in my mouth, then popped another one of the candies in her own mouth. And with the words, "Goodness, it really is tasty," smiled in pleasure.
でも、こういった熱量食は一人でこっそりと食べた方が美味しいのかもしれないわね。
Maybe.
どうして？
私の弟がそうだったの。変に禁欲的というか、好きなものをあげてもあまり喜ばないし、後で一人で隠れてこっそり食べるの。
And yet it's more about
どう
you
してっ
two
て
now.
聞けば、下手に喜ぶと誰かに取り上げられるかもしれないし、一人の方が落ち着くっていうのよね。人間は喜んでいる瞬間が一番無防備だということをすでにあの年齢で知っているのだから、さすがは私の弟ね。そういう卑屈に歪んでいるところもすごく可愛いわ。
Oh, wow.
なんだかわかるようなわからないような。
I think the submissive part just raised small flags, but okay.
理解しない方が幸せよ。特に家族に対してすら不器用にしか生きられない人間はね。
Family. That brief word resonated painfully inside of me. Felt as though an icicle had unexpectedly pierced my chest at the core. What were my parents doing right now? Worrying about their missing daughter? It was a little past 5 o'clock. Normally, I would have been heading home from after school practice right about that time. I tended to come home a little hungry from practice. The refrigerator would be packed full of food, packed full of sweet drinks. On the kitchen table, more snacks than I could possibly need were always waiting for me. After a satisfying snack, I could head to the bathroom and take a long, luxurious soak in steaming hot water. Then cool down with a cup of cold milk, idly distorting my voice in the electric fan while my mother prepared dinner. Without even asking, my parents offered me more food than I could eat. I accepted it without a second thought, often without even a word of thanks. That stupid, ungrateful ignorance filled me with bitter shame. But at the same time, comparing myself then to the filthy, frightened girl who just quivered ecstatically over a single piece of candy, I couldn't repress a surge of miserable self-pity.
Amane? どうして泣くの?
Oh.
泣いてないよ。
周りを見てごらんなさい。
As instructed, I looked around the area, only to find it deserted.
今はあなたと私しかいないわ。
Oh, my heart. She's saying, if you want to cry, I'm here for you, basically. There's no need to hold back. The instant those words left her mouth, I felt the tear glands swell up in the corners of my eyes. My self-restraint crumbled like sand and I burst into violent sobs. Aww. Crying wasn't going to fix anything. Nobody was going to swoop down and rescue me. No matter how much I grieved over my own powerlessness and ignorance, there was no do-overs to be had. What was done couldn't be undone.
帰りたい。私、帰りたいよ、和樹。
Hiding my twisted, wretched expression behind the palm of my hand, I crumbled to my knees on the spot. Without a word, Kazuki drew near, wrapped her arms around my head, and hugged me against her slender stomach. Pathetic. Utterly pathetic. When I was still a child, there was a girl among the neighbourhood kids who'd break into tears at the slightest thing. I remember thinking of her as a nuisance. A stupid, useless crybaby. If I weep, somebody will come help me. Somebody would take pity on me and solve my problems for me. The transparent self-interest behind her actions was just as irritating as the blubbering itself. And now, I had become such a worthless, moaning crybaby, rubbing my ruddy nose against the belly of a girl considerably smaller than me, sobbing into her skirt. Ooh. She had been holding it in for ages.
ごめん、和樹。ごめんね。許して。
いいのよ
Give me.
大丈夫。今すぐってわけにはいかないけれど、いつか必ず私があなたを家に返してあげる。約束するわ。
約束か。As she spoke, Kazuki took one arm from around my head and began to softly stroke my hair. My family wasn't with me. There's no way such a pointless, clingy little brute down could have been anything but irritating to anyone in this place. They were all suffering, just the same. But even so, Kazuki didn't push me aside. She held me gently in her arms and accepted it all, offering me soothing, hopeful words. That kindness was painful in its own right, but at the same time, I felt like an irreplaceably precious gift. It felt like an irreplaceably precious gift.
和樹は辛くないの？帰りたくないの？
Of course she does. Turning my face up to Kazuki's belly, From Kazuki's belly, sorry. I met her gaze with watery eyes and mumbled a distinctly childish question. She gave a little laugh, her stomach shaking lightly against me, and answered, "Don't worry about me. I'm a
帰り
genius."
たいかと聞かれれば、それはもちろん帰りたいわ。私がいないうちに弟が両親にいじめられてやしないかと思うと気が気じゃないわ。
Closing a single eye, Kazuki furrowed her brow and pursed her
こん
lips.
なことになるのなら、小森さんが犬をそうしたように、私も弟をバッグに詰めて内緒で連れ込んでしまえばよかった。失敗したわね。
Nah, I'm pretty sure that wouldn't have worked out too well for you. Probably not. Which, with one final loud sniffle, I found my sobs had given way to a small burst of laughter.
天才でも失敗するんだ。
もちろん天才だって失敗はするわ。失敗を失敗で終わらせない人を天才というのよ。そしてそれに一生気がつかない人を凡人と呼ぶの。
天才も楽じゃないね。
私の苦労を思いばかる余裕が出たのなら、そろそろ泣き止んでいただける？大の男を腹で泣かせることができれば女として一人前だとは言うけれど、あなたは女の子だしね。そろそろ鬱陶しいかも。
That's funny.
優しくないな、和樹は。
I like this interaction. I like it.
それは心外だわ。私だってできることならあなたが泣き疲れて眠ってしまうまでベッドで絵本でも読んであげたいけれど、
Oh.
ここにはベッドも絵本もないのだから仕方がないでしょ。
ごめんね。多分もう大丈夫だから。なんだろうね。自分でもなんで急に泣いたのかわからないよ。
When you start crying unconsciously, it's awful because you don't realize you're crying. And it's horrible once you realize it because then you're trying to figure out right and then it just won't stop.
流した涙はきっちりと舐めておきなさい。貴重な塩分がもったいないわ。それと
Oh? Kazuki reached out, took my hand and dropped all the remaining candy and chocolate onto my palm. Wait, why are you giving it to Amane? Don't you want any, Kazuki?
これはあなたに預けます。即効性の高い熱量食は貴重よ。私がいいと言うまで手をつけずに保管すること。いい？
But why aren't you gonna have any?
わかった。
If Kazuki was entrusting me with such important provisions, it was clear she genuinely trusted me. I absolutely couldn't betray that trust. Biting my lower lip at this heavy sense of responsibility, I stared intently at the chocolates in my hand. Watching my reaction, Kazuki sighed slowly through her nose.
生真面目なのはいいけれど、責任と責任感を履き違えないことね。そうやって何でも我慢して耐えちゃう子は弟を見ているようで切なくなるし、そんな子は長生きはできないわよ。
責任と責任感って何が違うの？
Responsibility is what you already have, and your sense of responsibility, it tells you how to go about that. It's like how you'll take that responsibility rather than knowing what it is.
負うべきものが責任。負わなくていいものまで追いたがるのが責任感。その境目を見失わないように。
I mean, I kind of know that feeling.
よくわからないけど、わかったふりだけしておくよ。
I've met a lot of people in my life, and one person that was my roommate, I've had many interesting conversations with him. I just said goodbye to him yesterday. And he was a cool dude, and I hope that he's made it back safely. But if you manage to somehow find this, hey dude, how you doing? I don't get it, but I don't need to get it either. If Kazuki says so, that's the way it is. I was aware I'd taken the easy path in letting someone else think for me, but honestly, I didn't really care anymore. A clumsy idiot who tries to take a heavy burden on their shoulders won't achieve anything but catastrophic failure. I understood that just fine even before Kazuki drove the point home. For that very reason, I decided to obey her orders without a second thought. Kazuki told me I couldn't eat that candy without her permission, so I'd sit on my haunches slobbering like a dog until she spoke the magic words. If permission never came, I'd wait out the years and carry them to my grave. In this situation where nothing seemed certain except uncertainty, the one and only thing I had come to believe in was Kazumi Kazuki. I kept the thought to myself, since I was well aware she would only offer another sarcastic "might you be mistaking me for God" in response. But at this point, I'd probably have answered, "Huh? You're not." That was what Kazumi Kazuki had become for me. Wow. Oh, this is the 5th day, isn't it? Yeah, the 5th day in the valley. Okay, I'm going to read this bit until the end of this little bit here, then I'm going to end the video. Because the 7th day is nearly upon us. The 5th day in the valley. Let's begin from the conclusion. Today, it rained all day long. To be honest, I had no idea rain could be this unpleasant. The constant drumming of water against the tent was unexpectedly loud, enough to make conversation difficult. And the light entering the tent was far dimmer than usual. Thanks to my strong astigmatism, everything seemed fuzzy and indistinct, so it was extremely difficult to do much of anything. Oh, damn it. Sorry, that was my bad. But the bigger problem was the rain that oozed up from the ground beneath us and the damp chill it brought this morning. I woke to a real double whammy, the psychological jolt of emerging from a familiar nightmare, and the physical pain of a throbbing headache. I'd piled 2 mats under my sleeping bag last night, but when I came to, I was soaking wet. My body temperature had fallen as I slept, and the chilled blood running through my veins had numbed the blood vessels in my brain. So there we go. I'm going to end this part here. Oh my. We are really coming along now. So already we can tell there's distrust going on with the captain already. We are getting closer to the end of the week now. We went through 2 days in this part, and I'm surprised at how fast day 4 actually was, but wow, that CG though. Oh, God. That was a powerful one. But anyway, unfortunately, that does mean I've got to end the video here. I know these Grisaia videos are a bit longer than normal, but I want to record as much of it as possible. I might cut down the size of it after the backstory's done, just so that it's back at the normal rate. I'll see what I can do about it, but for now, that will end this video for me. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you want any more from me, and I shall see you in the next video. So, guys, I want to most certainly see you next time. Mutineers are coming!